The storylines in this NHL playoff series has been incredible, but I think every hockey fan can agree there is nothing more heartwarming than seeing Gabe Landeskog get his first goal after not playing for over 1,000 days.
To the slot, the shot, they score! Guess who? It's Gabriel Landeskog! 3-0, Colorado!
What's up and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another deep dive into an NHL playoff series, but shifting out to the Western Conference today to talk about the Colorado Avalanche versus the Dallas Stars. Now the storylines within this series have been incredible. Mikko Rantanen coming back to play against his former team, Gabe Landeskog returning to the lineup, Jake Oettinger now being pulled after arguably the best performance he's had in the postseason, and so much more. But today I want to more focus on Game 4 and why I think this is going to be a huge momentum shift of this series and give Colorado an edge moving forward. So if you guys have been enjoying the content lately and you want to see more deep dives like this, be sure to give this video a thumbs up now and subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, let's talk Colorado versus Dallas. Going into Game 4, the vibes around Colorado were kind of low. You dominated in Game 1 and then dropped back-to-back OT games against Dallas, who has only been leading in this series for 62 seconds and still has a 2-1 lead against you guys. Not to mention you lose that game when Gabe Landeskog returns at home. Talk about brutal. Game 4 was a must-win situation though, and they bounced back big time with a dominant performance, beating the Stars 4-0 with a Mackenzie Blackwood shutout, a Gabe Landeskog goal, and doubling the shots against Dallas 47-23. So huge win for them as they go back to Dallas in this series and try to go up 3-2 after tying things up. Now, beginning with Colorado, I didn't have a lot that I wanted to critique about this team, especially after Game 4, but there are a few players who I would like to see step up just a bit more. For starters, Martin Necas, talk of the town for Colorado. They make that big trade for Mikko Rantanen, and through the regular season, they kind of won this one in a lot of people's eyes. But in the postseason right now, he's been a bit of a ghost. His game doesn't seem to be translating all too well, especially when you compare his numbers to Mikko Rantanen's when he was on the team in the postseason. We'll get into his performance this year with Dallas in a minute. But Martin Necas, I would like to see do a little bit more here. I think his speed and his finesse, it does work in some situations, but the playoffs are just a little bit more physical. And Carolina fans used to get on him for this. He just doesn't really play up to his own standards in the postseason compared to his regular season statistics. And I think for a team like Dallas, who has a lot of depth, they're eventually going to start scoring more goals, and Colorado's going to need some of their top dogs like Necas to step up and get a few points on the board to help them win this series. So I would like to see him come back in Game 5 and maybe get a point or two trying to help Colorado get a 3-2 lead, but he's someone to keep an eye on for this playoff series, considering that he's going to be a part of their future moving forward. The other guy, and I can't believe I'm saying this because he's just so good that I personally would like to see do a little bit more offensively, is Kale Kerfoot. Defensively, he's been amazing, shutting down a lot of Dallas's best players, but offensively, for a guy who's going to win the Norris Trophy because of how many points he put up, I would like to see him do a little bit more. I think for Colorado, him being on their power play and him adding that extra layer to their offense is their calling card and what makes them so unique. And with him not doing much in this series, I think that could hurt them later on. So hopefully Colorado can find a way to get Kale going offensively, because I think that would be huge for them in this series, because Dallas just doesn't have their top guy who typically would do that for them. Overall, I think Colorado played really well in Game 4. I'm really impressed with Mackenzie Blackwood. I would like to see them be a little bit more sound with their special teams. They look better in Game 4 compared to Game 3 when they had 0 for 6 on the power play, but not much to complain about with Colorado. I think Game 5 is going to be huge for them, but if they can get guys like Necas and Kale Kerfoot to step up a little bit more and add to what guys like Nichushkin and McKinnon are doing, I think Colorado is going to be in a really good position. And with this momentum they got at home, I think they're going to be able to carry that into this series, and with a win in Game 5, potentially close this one out in 6. Now we got to flip over to the flip side here. We got the Dallas Stars. Weird game for them. I think coming off of Game 3, you have all of the momentum spoiling that Gabe Landeskog return, and if you could pull out a win in Game 4, you stranglehold the Avalanche and probably would win this series despite all of your deficiencies with your injuries. But the big thing for me in this one that I continue to notice is, where are the top point producers for the Dallas Stars? Wyatt Johnston, Roope Hintz, Mikko Rantanen. We're seeing performances from the veterans, Ben, Sagan, and Duchesne, but not these younger guys or the guys who are going to be the future of this Stars team. I think that's going to be so important for Game 5. I want to see at least a point from each of these guys in this game, or I think Dallas is going to have a really tough time beating Colorado moving forward. It's now a best of 3 series. It's going to be tight. These players are going to be physical, and these guys need to start finding their games here, because Dallas is not going to be able to get all of these points from Sagan and Ben in games 5, 6, and 7. It's just not going to happen. Sure, they'll be impact players, but without these complementary superstars adding, especially with Robertson now, I just don't see any world where Dallas gets things done. Now, the other storyline from Game 4 was the pulling of Jake Ottinger. I think that this was kind of a mistake for Dallas. Yes, you could look at it and say you got to give him rest. You're not winning in this game, and overall it'll benefit him down the line. But I think showing your goalie that you're confident in him, and that with his performance having over 30 saves in just 2 periods, that you believe in him and want him to stay in your net, that it's his and his alone, is really important for these guys. I'm not saying that Otter didn't trust him and say, hey, maybe you guys are right, this will be better for me in the future, but you could kind of see his demeanor on the bench. He didn't look happy. Not that he looked sad, but he looked a little bit uncomfortable with the situation. So we got to pay close attention to that moving forward, because Jake Ottinger is also going to be very important given the offensive weapons that Colorado has within their lineup. The only positive thing that I really want to mention here for Dallas is that I think their defense has been really good, all things considered. Not having Miro Heiskanen is a tough blow, but guys like Thomas Harley have been just exceptional in these games. I think he's been a complete water bug for their lineup. We saw it a bit in the Four Nations tournament, and we're seeing it again in this year's playoffs. The future of their blue line is going to be spectacular with him and Heiskanen once he's back and healthy. I just think Dallas should be really, really happy with how things have been going on that front. But overall, they got to get their stars to produce more. They got to get their special teams going. Their power play has been pretty abysmal throughout these playoffs. And if you can't get guys like Johnston, Rantanen, and Hintz going, then you're not going to win this series. I just don't see that happening against this Avalanche team. But overall, after that Game 4 performance, I think the momentum has really shifted in this one, and Colorado should be looking to close out in Game 5 to really take a commanding lead against the Stars in this one. I still have the Avalanche winning this in 6. Like I mentioned, I'm fine with either team going. I'm very unbiased in this one, but I think Game 4, it spoke a lot of volume to how Colorado is going to be playing this series moving forward. But this is my breakdown on Game 4 and just in general the whole series between the Colorado Avalanche and Dallas Stars. Do you guys agree with my takes? Do you disagree? And who do you guys think is going to come out on top in this one? As always, drop your thoughts in the comments below, as well as what other series you guys would like a breakdown for next. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. I will see you guys in the next episode.